on.
Ooh, better wait. Well, go ahead and record, I guess. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'm recording. I just
change.
hit record on OBS and now I'm recording on my camera.
I am recording on my camera only, so we should be fine
Hey, you know
here.
what motivates me to do this podcast is listening to our podcast.
It's funny,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I was editing and I went to Spotify and I looked up photography podcasts, and the popular ones come up, like the Northrops come up, and Martin Bailey, which is a great podcast I love. But we showed up, I guess, as the algorithm. I've heard us before, and I played our last episode, and it was like so much more enjoyable. Is that like egotistical? What's going on there?
No, no, because what happens is I'm just moving you so I can see you on this screen, not looking at my
Yeah.
computer. There. Let me just move this thing because I don't need to see me anymore. All right. There you are, sexy pants. No, it's not egotistical because I do that with your videos, my videos, and our videos. So it's like I know him. I'm cool.
I don't know. I'm like listening to us from it's like a different perspective, and I hear things that you say that like while we're recording I don't hear.
I'm in the same boat. Like sometimes I'm too busy making a joke in my head that you say something and I'm like, oh, I missed that. Or we're both laughing and I miss something.
Yeah.
Or we're talking at the same time, which is like human nature. People do that all the
I do
time.
it all the time. I apologize before I do it in this episode. But in the last, we actually, guys, welcome to the Moe and O photo show.
Hi, I'm Mo
And
Morales.
I'm Omar Gonzalez, and we're photographers that talk about
About
photography.
everything.
Yeah. And
Speaking about talking about everything, go ahead, make your point because I wanted to bring up something odd.
yeah, I got a couple of things I want to bring up here. Mo and I do not prepare at all. We have a producer, but we fired him. He had really good ideas, and it's better if we
So
just go off the cuff.
so before we jump into photography stuff or whatever you're gonna do, because I know you have stuff in your brain. You see this here?
This is
It's
an audio podcast.
Well, I was about to explain it. That's why I was tapping it. This is a
Okay.
can of local beer, and I say local as in the state of New Jersey. It's called Cape May Brewery. And let me ask you, how do you feel about? You're not a big ale brew beer guy, are you?
I'm like an IPA kind of guy. I like
An IPA.
a good like summer crisp,
Uh,
citrusy IPA.
So that is a sour ale along the lines.
Oh yeah, you
That's a
like that
sour ale.
stuff.
I love sour ales. And the thing is that actually is bothering me is I bought the last 12 pack, which is two 6 packs separately, of this local specific one because what Cape May does is throughout the year come up with brand new brews that they only do for like 2 weeks or a month.
Do they have any regulars that always come out?
Oh,
Oh, they have their
yes,
regulars. Okay.
yes, they have regulars, and but this one is called Key Lime Corrosive, and
Keep lime
it
corrosive.
is so delicious. It's like honestly, I'm gonna say it right here. It is the best sour ale I've ever had.
Wow.
Ever. Like I stopped drinking a long time ago, but I have honestly in the last 2 months have bought 4 6 packs of these because it's just that good. And they don't make it anymore. No store has it locally, and they won't make it if at all until next year, same time.
Wow. That's a good
So
business practice there.
is it a good is it see I'm irked by
You're
it,
irked, yeah, but you're talking about it, and you're
but I'm talking about it because I'm mad. So I mean, so you answered the question I was going to ask you. Do you think that's good business practice? And you think it's good to tease the customer and leave them wanting more because now they probably are going to win because even though I don't drink anymore, they're going to make me try all
try.
these
That's
different
the
flavors
thing.
until I can get close to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think any exclusivity or sort of like there's only a small window where you can get things is like a business practice. Even for
But you know me,
I know. I'm
I'm
going to
just
tie
so
it back. I'm
bad.
going to tie it back to photography. One of the strategies for getting people to buy prints is to have like a gallery that expires, like a portrait
Mhm.
gallery that expires, or a coupon that's only good for like a day.
Yeah. Yes, I've seen that move, and I
And
feel that works sometimes.
yeah, look at Apple. They came out with their Air tags, and they came out with that one. There's like one that's $500.
What?
Yeah, one of the Air
A
tags is
$500? The
Yeah,
$500 air tag?
yeah. It has. It's like a special, like a special edition fashion one. Yeah,
Hermes,
yeah,
a
yeah. It's a
Hermes one.
Hermes. Yeah,
Is
it
it?
is. It
I
is.
was joking.
It totally is.
Their Apple Watch that costs like 3 grand is usually a
It's a
Hermes.
Hermes
So
tag, and being. I
wow.
mean, it's not the same thing as a limited edition, but yeah, beers that are there are seasonal ales, like Sam
Hmm.
Adams does it and whatever. But this whole, I could see why you're pissed now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, like I get like an Oktoberfest, I get a summer shandy, I get all that. But this is neither nor, you know? It's just it's just a sour hazy IPA.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
yeah. Well,
So I actually
let's.
you know how special you are to me? I
You
actually am
bought me
saving
a
a
six
can.
pack.
I,
Oh no.
I saved you a can so
Oh.
that when I would like you to try it. Even though you're not big on sours, it is a nice hazy IPA.
Now, it being in a can, is that like, trashy and not high class beer?
I'm sophisticated, so I have
It looks
class.
good. It looks good. I've been gravitating towards more, especially since it's getting warmer. Anything with like citrus. Remember we went out to Shannon
Mhm.
Rose and we had those like
Yes, sir.
sort of orange peelish kind of IPAs. Like I love
And those are
those.
local too.
Yeah.
Those are Newark or in Jersey City, weren't they? Um,
Yeah.
Brick, Brick. It was really nice. But the way I feel about this is that it is a summery type of drink. That's why I like it so much. It has a nice lemony kick to it. It's summery feeling. It makes me happy, Omar.
I think you're drunk, brother.
No, no, I've had 2 sips,
Hold
so
on. Let me take a
it
swig
makes
of
me
my
happy.
vodka here.
Actually, I only drank this so that I could bring it onto the show and talk about it and be grumpy.
We should
Uh,
we have Moe and O photo show mugs. We should totally make like just alcohol stuff, like the little
ooh,
flask. We can make beer
or
beer
or
glasses,
clear,
clear
yeah, clear
glasses. Let-
glasses. Oh, that's a great idea,
Let's do that
Omar.
merch,
I would
yo.
buy two.
Yeah, yeah. You have to supply your own beer, people, but
Well, first of all, for our 4 people watching this show, if you would buy the merch, let us
let
know
us know.
because we're not going to make an investment and
I
then
know
end up keeping
the
it.
mugs were expensive the way we did it, so we have to figure.
Right now, we would have bought like 100 of them. It probably would have been
You're
cheaper,
right.
but I don't think we would have sold more than four.
I think we started selling merch when we had like 5 subscribers. We're like, anyone want a
Talk about
mug?
being ambitious, but
Yeah.
hey,
We should.
oh, those boys knew what
Hey,
they were talking
our
about.
logo is pretty decent, so I think we can make hats. We can make
And honestly, think about our logo, right? I'm thinking now, our logo, you could use the beer to fill in the color of it.
yes. It could be like negative. Yeah, yeah, like the yellow
Awesome.
beer. I love it. We're
Yeah,
on
like
it.
like
Let's get
you have
that
to keep the
producer
beer
back.
filled to keep the mug
Producer,
good.
we need.
All right. So let's get back to the real world now that I've vented my
All
little.
right, here's what I was going to talk about first. Don't you hate when people borrow things and just like
Oh
never
my.
return?
What are you talking about? Do you want this back?
You bastard. The other
Is
day,
that what it is all about?
yeah, I was like, where's my 20 millimeter? Oh, you bastard. Have you tried it
Oh.
yet?
Actually, yeah, I've recorded one video like 3 different times, and I've used it. Each time I re-record the video, so and I haven't posted it, so you could obviously tell how
Uh,
well that's
yeah,
going.
yeah, I've recorded a couple of things I don't post. I'm talking about the 20 millimeter 1.8 by Sony. It is a great lens that works both for full frame and APS-C, so I love it. But Mo borrowed it, and I film most of my YouTube videos with it, but I've been using the 17 to 28 Tamron, which is also good. That's what I'm using right now. But I wanted to mess with Mo because he's had it for like 2 weeks or more.
I don't even think it's been. I think it's almost a month now. I think it's like I'm gonna start charging it rent for being here this long.
Oh my gosh.
No, actually, I was thinking about bringing it to you this weekend, but you had a busy weekend,
Super
so
busy, yeah. I've actually not been making YouTube videos because I've been working a lot, which is good. Things are picking up. This is a hot season now.
it is a hot season literally because people are gonna get the corona all over again. They just people like all of a sudden forgot that there was the corona. It's
I
like,
know. Well, I mean,
and
it's
I'm optimistic. I want to believe that that's the case, that everything's gonna go back to normal. But I think day one to expect everything back to normal.
I know.
I don't know. That's what it
I
is.
think that there's going to be this weird time, this weird transition where, like some people are vaccinated, some people are never going to get the vaccine. And COVID is just going to kind of be around. It's going to be one of those things later when it's a joke. It's like, you got COVID, you're the only one on the block.
It's like you got the chicken pox and
Yeah,
COVID
yeah,
at the same time. What the hell's
exactly.
wrong with you?
Yeah, so it'll be something, hopefully, knock on wood. I'm going to tie it back to beer because I love that you started with beer. We were supposed to travel to Belgium, and Belgium is
Ah,
like the capital of.
yes.
And one of the things they do in Belgium is you have to like be skilled at pouring the draft. You have to have a head. Do you know what the head is?
Yes, the foamy part that would be right here.
Yeah, yeah. And when we were before COVID, I was getting geared. I was geared up to go to Belgium. I was watching all these videos on how they prepare the beer, and I was ready to try all these different Belgian beers. And I tried some in New York to get ready, and then COVID happened. We had to cancel our trip.
I love Belgian beer. I love the beer. There's one I can't remember off the top of my head that I drink that's specifically gluten free that comes from from gluten. It comes
Gluten,
from Belgium.
Idaho.
Yeah, right next to Wisconsin.
Oh man, that's great.
Oh, so I don't. Again, I normally do not drink beer unless I go out to a bar, or unless we're having lunch once in a while. So the fact that I've actually drank this many of these is just again to reinstate how delicious this thing
Awesome,
is.
awesome.
You're gonna hate it, and I'm gonna have to punch
I
you in the face.
probably will hate it.
Yeah. So remember, if you make one of these faces, like I'm gonna punch you in the face.
All right,
I'm a
what's on your
bully.
list? Mine was the 20 millimeter joke.
I have nothing on my list. You know what? Let me talk a little bit about my experience though with Tamron.
Okay.
Okay. Tamron makes amazing lenses, right? They got the 17 to
Got
28,
it.
the 28 to 75,
Got it.
and what's the other one? Is it 75 to 180 or 70 to 180?
I think it's a 70 to 180. Yeah.
I think they cut it at the one end and
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the other, right? So they make those three lenses that are just superb, magical, amazing. For the price that you're paying for those lenses, you're like, this is straight butter, and they shouldn't be, how they. It's like going to a buffet. You're like, how
How
are
are
they
they
doing this?
doing
How are they
this? Yeah,
giving me
yeah.
this?
When you go to the buffet, how are they
How are they
making
giving me
money?
this delicious? Yeah, how am I getting 8 pounds of rack of lamb for five
Oh, the
dollars?
shrimp. Yeah.
Oh, you know how they get you with the shrimp though? They make you peel it yourself. But anyway, at least here in America. So let me ask you this question: Have you heard anything positive about their 20 f 2.8 and their
They're
24
little
f
primes,
2.0?
like there's it,
Yeah, they were. So I asked you if you heard anything about it because when I purchased the lens I'm filming myself on right now, I tried those two lenses first, and I was just taken aback to how, how they're really good lenses still feel
yeah.
plasticky,
Yeah, for sure.
right? But like a respectable plasticky, right? No, no, it was like it made the Fuji XC lenses look like super high
Oh,
level
really? It was
glass.
junky.
It was junky, and then they both had horrible distortion, barreling, vignetting, and I'm like, I kind of like pulled myself back in because the most expensive one of the two was 200, was 299.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? For 299, what am I really expecting? But that made me think of this, which is why I brought this whole thing, and I'm gonna wrap it into this little circle now. It- should I, based on what Tamron's become, expect more, even if it's just 299?
Absolutely. I mean, they set the bar so high. These lenses were like back ordered everywhere. I shoot all my events with those three lenses. Like I just carry those three
Right.
lenses and could shoot the whole event. Um, and I think maybe there's competition now because Sony came out with the same kind of small pancakey lens. And then also Sigma came out with the same thing, like a Sony small, right? That they probably knew those were in the works and they wanted to throw these out
Right.
there. And the competition in this range, no one's making what Canon made many years ago for the DSLR, which was the Nifty 50, which was a plastic mount
Right.
lens, which had great, was beautiful bokeh for people, their first prime. But that was $100, which in today's money
Right.
might be like 225, let's just say. So they're
Right.
they're charging more, I think, than like for something that has people will excuse bad build quality if the lens is
Hmm.
amazing. And you said it's not.
Right. No, it's not amazing. And I said to myself, you know what? It's if I use it for video, right? I can get away with it at such a low price, but then it actually makes autofocus
Oh, that's
noises.
bad.
Both
Yeah, yeah,
both of
that
them.
sucks.
So it was like, I can't even use it for that. So I ended up bringing them back, and I picked up the Sigma 24 30 34 the Sigma 24 millimeter 3.5, and I've been completely in love
Okay,
with
so
this
that's
lens.
one of those
So
little guys that they just a 3.5.
yes,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is right. This is the it's part of the contemporary series, but it's an I series lens, and I series is for the smaller ones. And if the 65 is anything like this lens, I'll probably pick that one up
That's
too.
cool.
Because I'm looking for something to hold me over. Because I don't want to buy a whole bunch of lenses. I'm kind of happy right now. I had the 85 forever, and I have this 24. But I think something like a 50 or a 65 in the middle, or a zoom. But right now that's not part of the plan. Right now it's just to keep this thing,
You
and that's
know,
it.
I was thinking, I got this idea from Taylor Jackson. Taylor Jackson does a lot of like YouTube videos. He's a great YouTuber, does a lot of Nikon stuff. I've got to talk about all my Nikon world, man. I'm
What?
like in
I
Nikon universe right
don't
now.
even know you anymore.
I know, right? What this is the multiverse right now. I'm watching the
Oh
Mets,
man.
buddy.
Oh my
I'm loving
gosh.
the Mets now. I'm bored by the Yankees, and I'm using Nikon. It's crazy universe. But anyway,
You are an angry, angry old man.
Taylor Jackson said something great. He said, figure out what your focal length is. Like, how like this is 24, something that you've been using. Like you've gotten a couple of wide, you had the 16 millimeter for Fujifilm, and now you're trying out 24. Like that seems like where you're going to. He said,
Hmm.
and for me, it's 50. Like 50 millimeter is what I want to be like what my photographs are in. He said invest, like get the one, like that's the one you save for, that's the focal length prime that you get, and then supplement it with like the cheaper versions of things. So if you're going to get an 85, get a 85 1.8 instead of the 1.2, get like all the smaller.
Right.
And
Right.
then
Hmm.
I don't use zooms that much, so the Tamron is perfect to supplement my 50 millimeter, which is the one I invest in. The Tamron is great for that because it's a dual workhorse lens, but it's not exciting. It's not something I want to like make my portraits with. You get it?
Yes, sir.
So
And you
instead
know
of
what?
owning
Go
all
ahead.
the G's, get the one you love, and then you can kind of supplement.
Right. So the thing that saves me with full frame, which is one of the reasons why I went back into full frame, is that this lens has two focus point. It
To
becomes
what?
a
What did you
35,
say?
two focal
I
two
thought you were
focal lengths.
cursing. To focal lens.
Oh my goodness. Potty
Oh,
mouth
because of
Mo. It's the beer. Because I
the
use
crop mode.
the jump
Oh,
into
that's
crop
cool. Did you
mode,
set a
right?
custom button
And
so you could be like boop? Oh, that's
yes,
neat. Can you do it
yes.
now?
So the video.
For let me see.
Oh, I stopped recording. No, it doesn't work when you. So
Did you record
the
again?
video
Did you start
record button.
recording? Okay.
Yeah, I just pressed. Let me make sure. Hold on.
I'm sorry. See, I made you touch something.
Yes.
Now your camera
All right.
moved. Forget it. Forget it. You're gonna ruin.
It's all ruined. You killed everything. Oh, I hate you. So yes, actually, it only works when it's in camera mode because it's the record button, the video record
Oh,
button. I've changed it into a
so
custom
you,
button
so for you,
for
but
cam
when
for
you
digital.
switch a
I didn't switch it
oh
in video mode.
when you switch to video mode on the Sony, you have new custom buttons. You can customize all the buttons. Oh,
That's what I'm
okay.
saying. So I only switched it on
Oh,
the
you got to
photo
do it for
custom
video. Yeah,
button,
yeah.
and I didn't do it. So I could do it for
Do you
that. So
know
it's a
if
really good
it'll?
idea.
I
But
wonder if it does it punch in while it's recording. Like if someone's
so
recording a wedding and they have the record button and they
yes.
hit the crop, will it go? Zzz?
So I don't know if it'll do that, but I was just telling you these cameras, at least Sony, I don't know if all the other ones do, but this camera has something called digital zoom.
Oh, I
So
love the
this
digital zoom. Yeah,
so even though this is a prime lens, I can actually make it
yeah,
zoom in
and it
digitally.
doesn't lose quality.
Doesn't lose quality. So I thought that was pretty amazing. So that's what I did when I was recording one of my videos. I thought it was too wide and my room was messy, so I kind of zoomed
Ah,
in a little bit and made it like 35 feeling. And that's what I did when I had your lens on here. So I wanted to make it look like they were both
that's
24,
cool. Yeah, yeah.
and it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. So that's another reason why I love full frame, because one lens becomes two
Yeah,
lenses.
the
And
debate of full frame APS-C, I mean, I end the debate with like two things that I need. Number one is I shoot low light. So if you take a APS-C camera a lot of times and you're shooting at 32 6400, it's like ugly. It really is.
mhm.
To me, my Fujifilm cameras in daylight and beautiful light, great. But in low light, horrible. And the other one is I like to take full length portraits that have a lot of bokeh. And it's, with the Fujifilm system, you could do it with just a couple of lenses. So it's kind of nice when you can go a little bit of like wide, like you can use a 34 millimeter and still have bokeh in the background. It's really cool. So I love those two reasons.
It is my orange light bokeh-ish or not
Yeah,
really?
yeah. I mean, I can't read the words back there.
Okay. So that's this is at 3.5 because this is wide as it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It
it's
looks
pretty
good.
neat. This lens is amazing. I think you should play with this one for a while. It feels good. It's really metallic all the way around. It's like ribbed for
Well,
your
let me show
pleasure.
you what I've been playing with. Hold on.
So I just took off the lens hood. I just took off the
Hold
lens
on.
hood.
Did you just say ribbed for her pleasure?
Ribbed for your pleasure.
Okay. See, that's something that I didn't hear. That's something I hear later when I'm listening to.
So
Oh,
this is a metal lens hood, and the whole body kind of feels like that. It's just really
hey.
neat. Even though it's not a whole metal build. It has metal and plastic, but it's juicy and
All right,
heavy.
watch this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Boom, boom,
Oh
boom,
my.
boom, boom, boom. You like?
Oh my goodness.
It's
What is
Darth
that thing?
Vader's 70 to 200 amazingness.
Is that the Nikon one?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, I knew you got
This
that one.
lens,
You
I
borrowed it.
borrowed it, but I'm getting it,
It's
man,
I mean, oh, it's like, wait, what for
for
what?
portraits, man, and for
Wait, is that
the Z.
that's a Z. So you're
I'm
getting the
getting the
Z?
Z, baby.
Oh, breaking news.
This just in.
Omar Gonzalez gets another camera.
Someone just wrote on my Instagram, "How many cameras do you have, you bastard?"
Not enough.
No, listen. The whole
No, I saw how much you were in love with it that day. I knew it was gonna
the
happen. So Omar and I went out a couple weekends ago, and we just went and shot and had a good time. He brought out the Z. Which one was it?
what? When did we go out?
Which,
You sure it was me?
it was one week. Yeah, we went out to New York and we walked in Central Park and we had Spanish
Oh,
food.
yeah, that was the Z6. I had the 24 to 70 f4 on there, which is their kit lens.
Mm, it was huge.
Oh my god!
It was
But
juicy. It was delicious.
the lifeless, like the what we've been talking about, how the mirrorless cameras nowadays are like super crystal, hyper sharp, great image quality, but great for like 8K TV photographs. They're
Right.
missing some of that photographic juice.
El
El
juguito.
juguito. And this
That's just
lens,
juice in Spanish.
not so much the kit lens. That one is a little bit sterile, but this lens, Nikon did something to it. It has the quality of the Canon 70 to 200 that I had for portraits. The bokeh to crisp. The lenses are sharp, but they still have character. And the images from the Z6 look like photographs, man. I'm like so excited.
Now, is it that they look like photographs, or is it that you're just so sick of Sony that anything else would be a
No, I'm not
improvement?
sick of Sony. I mean, I'm proud of what I've gotten out of my Sonys. Let me just say that.
Uh, wrong phrase. You're not sick of Sony, but you're just so
I'm
taken back by the sterileness of it.
let-
Because even though
there's
you work the
something missing
photo
from
again,
my
that,
Sony files that I've been trying to get with different methods. Like I got my color down. I've lowered the sharpness. I've used curves to soften the images, and I've added grain. But all of this stuff on top is like makeup. Do you understand? Like,
so I'm gonna
yeah.
psychoanalyze you right now. It is not that the Nikon is so much better. It's just that it's a lot less
Yes,
work to get to what you want to
exactly.
see.
My,
ultimately. It's
you
the
know how
work
I always
portion.
loved Joe McNally's work. Like Joe McNally's done great work with like ballerinas and firemen and alien shoots. He does these shoots, and all the colors are just like crayon colors. They're just like what you're wearing right now, like your beautiful red and your beautiful orange. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And he shoots Nikon, and I always love Canon colors for like almost everything. The Canon colors are great, and I always used to make fun of Nikon colors. And I didn't realize how good they are straight out of camera using Adobe. Let's just say that, because I think part of the
Right.
problem is that Canon and Nikon work great with Adobe Lightroom because they've been around forever. That group, Adobe, not Canon and Nikon. Sony and Fuji and all these other camera companies, they don't, Lightroom hasn't worked well with those.
You know what? Let's be honest. It could have been that Nikon had a gap, right? So you started shooting with the 700, the D700, and you loved it, and then you shot now with the mirrorless Z series, and you've loved it. It could have been because I remember my photos had a green tint to
Yeah.
it. It was nothing, straight out of camera, white balance correctly, quotation marks here, white balance correctly, it still gave you like a green tint that you had to correct
Mm,
for. So it could have been that Nikon got it right with the 700, and
came
then
back full
tink,
circle. Yeah.
tinkered a while and realized, what we were doing. No one wants the new Coke. it, let's go back to the original Coke, and that's probably what they did.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been great, man. I am super excited to have less work. Meaning, I just did a golf shoot of a kid, and I'm going to do videos on this, but there are a couple of things that I have to work through that the Sony does much better. But I'll get to that in my videos. But I did a golf shoot, and the greens look great, and the kid's skin still looks good, even though he's over green.
Right,
That's the
right, which is hard.
yeah, it's hard,
That's
and
hard.
sort of like Nikon
That's
knew
hard for
what to
any system.
do.
They're like, this is what we're gonna do, guys.
Give him good
Less
skin. Yeah,
green
yeah.
there, more white there. Yeah, so that's good. I'm glad. Now, how long before you actually pull the trigger, or have you already pulled
Well,
the trigger?
here's the thing. I go back and forth with like, let me return it back to B&H. It's the loaner. Let me finish my mitzvah season, which is ending now in end of June, and then revisit. Maybe they'll come out with new firmware, or it's already great. The camera is super great, and it's back ordered everywhere. So I
Okay.
think I am going to just start with the Z and the 70 to 200. And I also have the FTZ adapter, which lets you adapt some older Nikon lenses. But
Right.
I don't
You should
I
need
don't
jail.
think I really want to adapt too much. You start filling up your bag with old lenses. The only issue I have is a lot of the Z lenses have, do you know this like locking thing? They have like a locking,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah. That's
Do
that's
you know it?
annoying.
It's like the lens locks.
Yeah, yeah. So you click it to a certain point, you have to
You have to
pop it
pop
to
it.
start using it.
And I was
Yeah.
using it at an
And
event. I actually used it in the last hour of my last event. I was really impressed with how it did. But there was one time where I tried to go too wide and it locked it. I went
oh,
beyond the
geez.
24.
You've gone too far,
You
Captain.
can't go further.
It's
It's
only a
only to
lens.
goes to 24, Captain. I'm like, please give me 16.
Spaceballs, great movie. So let me. So which Z are you looking
The
at? The seven,
six,
the
two,
7.2, the
six,
six
two
two,
is perfect, man.
because it has the dual memory
Dual memory
cards.
cards. It has
Very important.
the image quality is just beautiful. It's like really beautiful.
What we're working with
24,
22, 24,
24, which
24.
is perfect. And great autofocus system. The ergonomics and buttons and dials are so well built. Like after you hold the Z cameras, you look at the other cameras and you're like, wow, this door is kind of crappy, or this is junky plastic.
I feel that Nikon has always had, for me, good grip, good
Yes.
feel. When I went to the store and I decided that I was done doing film, right? I picked up the Nikon D5000 and a Canon
Oh
TX44
boy.
Rebel 5.9er. And when I held them both in my hand, it's just that the Nikon won, not because I thought I didn't know anything about megapixels. It won because it just felt so much better in my
Yeah.
hand. So the D800 felt delicious in my hand. The D850, it's just something on how they built it that the ergonomics just
I
feel
feel
right.
like I missed out a little bit, with not exploring, Nikon DSLRs and being a sort of,
Fanboy,
yeah,
snobby.
so such a Canon fanboy. But there was no reason to
Yeah,
try another camera brand, right? Like, it
it
worked.
worked.
Oh, they
It
all
worked.
work.
Th- they were both great cameras. You weren't losing, sleep because you had a horrible camera. You both
They've
cameras are
great made
amazing.
great glass, both of them. They made great cameras, and it wasn't until this whole mirrorless, them being left behind from other cameras,
The
yeah,
Kodak world,
that
the Kodaks of digital
yeah.
cameras.
So they thought the DSLR would live forever. They kind of are playing catch up now.
I was one of those morons that said two famous things that I've learned to regret in my life. I have enough memory,
I was going to talk about that. That was on my list. Look, it says hard drive
and,
full.
I've said that once in my life. I have enough memory with my 8 gigabit card, and mirrorless won't last. It's just a
I
phase.
remember when I saw the
So
first Sony, the Terminator, looking in the EVF. I'm like, oh, this is cool, but it's weird.
yeah, George had that where he could see exactly what his picture
The
was going to look like
A99.
before
He
he
had the
took it.
Sony A99.
Was it the A99 or 77?
One of those. Yeah.
It was
It
one of
was
those.
it
Yeah,
was
well, whatever.
either Judge or damn it, I messed up the joke. Who's 77?
Carlos
No,
Santiago.
77 is Redhead.
Oh, Frazier.
Yeah, Yankee Land. See, I don't watch the Yankees anymore. Screw them.
Because you're a loser. You're just a hater inside. Let it go,
Bro, I
man.
have not been shooting. One of the reasons is because my hard drive only has like 50 gigs left.
What?
And so
So let's clarify this for those who are not computer savvy. The hard drive is the actual drive
you
that
store your
is
photos.
on the actual. Well, okay, so
My
then never mind.
external
Back
drive.
up. All right. So your external drive. I'm talking about. I thought you'd like, for instance, like I am looking at my MacBook Air and it has like 256 gigabytes on it, but I have like 8 different towers around it
Oh,
filled
yeah,
with
no.
8 terabyte, and
No.
then like three 1 terabytes.
Yeah,
You know what
no.
I'm talking about?
My Mac it has 2 terabytes, like my desktop. But
Okay. But your
I
RAID
store my
system.
photos on G-Tech drives. And finally, my family drive is just about full. So I was gonna go through all the rejects and start deleting, but that is gonna take so much
Mhm.
time. I'm just gonna daisy chain another G-Tech to it. Just keep everything from 20, I think it's like 2007 to now. It's like 13 years. So it's
Wow.
13 years of photographs. I have them backed up on my Synology. I have like a 30 terabyte Synology in the closet. They're backed up there too. This is just where I access them.
Right.
Um, but I was going to start deleting photos, but it just doesn't make any sense. I'm just going to daisy chain another hard drive that's eight. I mean, I have it already. I'm not using it. It was like an old jobless one. But
Yeah.
that becomes an issue for people, is filling up drives and then not knowing where stuff is and having multiple drives. Some people do it per year. Some people just, if you're an organized person, I'm sure it's great. But most photographers and creators are not very organized. We're just like throwing stuff on a drive.
And the average person who does photography for fun may not even think about that till it's too late. Like they just buy a computer with like 17 gigs and they think I'm
Yeah,
good. And the next thing they know, and they're also shooting JPEGs 9 out of 10 times. The average person, they're shooting JPEGs, but the people watching this show aren't those average people. They might be shooting JPEGs, but I'm sure there's a couple of RAWs in their lives, and they probably take a bunch of shots to make sure they get the shot. And now you have 18 shots, and Mama looking
I
like
know,
to
I
the
know.
left.
It,
Do you need all 18 of those? And if you don't cull
I
them
know,
and
I know.
remove them at that
Forget it.
point, you're going to be sitting in front of an avalanche and then you're
You
gonna
know
have to
what's so
daisy chain.
funny? Yeah. You know what's so funny? What I was looking to delete is, I don't know if this has happened with my Fujifilm cameras. They're accidentally on and taking 300 pictures of like my black the black bag that the camera's in. So one of my strategies was to go
Oh,
through and be like, "Oh, there's I was butt dialing these pictures,"
oh
and
my
then
goodness.
that saves like a gig, you know.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So this is just your personal
Yeah,
hard drive, right?
I
Not your
have
work
four
stuff.
hard drives. One of them is the personal, which is the one that's filling up. One is YouTube and Moe and O photo show. That one's just videos. The
Hmm.
third one is my client working drive. And then the last one was a like an archive of the year before. It was like a system I had where my 2020 would be on that drive and then this working one
Right.
would be emptier. But that got a little too kind of confusing. Then I got the Synology, and now that the jobs live on there, the older jobs. So this
Okay.
G-Tech drive has been sitting here. It's this mother. You see this guy?
Ooh, big
Yeah. So
boy.
this is a double drive. As a you can
Mm, dual bay. Nice.
I can shoot it as a RAID 1 so that I have two
Hmm.
versions of the. It's still not a backup, but I always try to put stuff on the cloud. I have our family photos on the cloud too. It's just crazy. It's like a lot of organizing photos. And you know what the saddest thing is? How many photographs have we taken that if we had the time, we could have like a beautiful book of our best work with like 20 of our best photographs. And please, they're everywhere on hard drives.
Wait. Is that a merch pitch? The
Oh,
Moe and O photo show photo book?
comes free with your beer mug. Yeah, I know.
Oh, sounds like, Spaceballs 2, the search for more
Yeah,
money.
merchandising.
Oh my goodness. So listen, the way I see it is a lot of people are going to run into this problem now that Google is no longer offering
Oh yeah,
free cloud service going forward. Like I think it's June 1st. After that, whatever you take will count against your
you know what?
balance.
They must have done
Your
the math. It's exponentially like the amount of hard drive farms. It would have been
right. So
astronomical as the number of people have free photos in the cloud.
or it's been the longest bait and
Oh,
switch
true.
of our lives, right? We've been on it for what, 6, 7, 8
And you have
years
like
now,
so many gigs.
and so many gigs of stuff. So they're like, listen, we gave you that first hit of cocaine for free over and over again. Now you're completely
Yeah,
hooked up.
wow, the slowest.
And and
Yeah, drip.
and this now that you're completely hooked up, you have two choices. Stop or start paying.
Oh my gosh.
Because if you have three get take up whatever the free amount is going to be, it doesn't count. Whatever you have doesn't count. But going forward, how long before you fill that up? I pay a couple
I
of
know.
services
And
to
then
to
and
to back up
I pay
my
Google, but it's a drip pay. It's like only $1 a month or $2 a month. So you never cancel.
2.99 for me. Yeah. No. Well, to me, I can't cancel because I have a lot of stuff. I have 200 gigabyte plan with
Yeah, but you have
Google,
SmugMug.
and
Don't you have SmugMug? SmugMug is
I don't
unlimited.
upload my. I only upload professional stuff
Oh,
up there
you
or
should
stuff that
move
I'm
all your
sharing.
stuff. You know, SmugMug has gotten better with you can even hook up your phone. You take a picture on your phone, it goes to your SmugMug.
So I might think about that. You're saying it's gotten better because that's exactly why I
Yeah.
didn't do it because it was a pain
No,
in
they
it took us
finally
when I first started
got kicked in the
Smug.
butt. They've been updating their stuff, and now I'll take a picture. I took a picture on my Google Pixel, and I remember telling the SmugMug app to back up the Pixel. And I had forgotten. I went on to SmugMug, and there was a folder that said whatever Google or Pixel, and it was all the photos I
Hmm.
took with the Pixel. It would just back them up in the background.
You know what? I'll start that tomorrow.
Start today.
Actually,
Act
you know what?
now.
I'm on the phone with you. I'm actually
Sponsored
on
by
the phone with you.
SmugMug.
Ding! Call
You know, that would be
us.
an effective way to advertise. Pretend you're having a little conversation and,
So we plan at the beginning of the video, like, hey, at hour 15, we're gonna give
hour
the code.
15. Yeah, the sign is I rub my eyebrow. Hey, can I tell you about some hard drive
I'm giving
space?
baseball signs now.
Yeah. That-
I forgot that there were people listening, so I got to go. Oh, sign for pitching
Well, you know,
strikeout.
it's funny. You're supposed to disclose if you're being paid for stuff. You know, we're disclosing
Right.
right now. Nobody's paying for
Yeah.
nothing here.
How many times do you think people really disclose though? You know, do you think there's? I think there's YouTubers out there that just decide that they want to enjoy selling their cameras and stuff.
Well, I think that it's a little ambiguous. Like, for example, if Squarespace is paying you, you obviously click the button that says this has a paid promotion. They're going to talk about, but it's a little weird.
Exactly where I was
Well, I was going to
going.
say it's a little weird if a company sends you something to review. You know, because I have been sent stuff, but I've never agreed to say I like it. I never agreed to send them a video of a positive review. I just show people the thing. And so,
No, no. What I'm thinking about is this. I'm thinking really decrepit type of stuff. For instance, sponsored by Squarespace is what they'll say, right? But then they'll talk about something else that they like
oh,
that they were sponsored behind the scenes that they don't have to say they were sponsored because they've already put
oh, you
promotional
think?
consideration
No,
on the
no.
video.
You're saying like if they're showing off a bag or
So they've
something?
right, they've already covered themselves by saying that this video is all
Oh, you don't have to
sponsored.
pinpoint what it's the paid promotion. A double
Exactly.
paid promotion.
Good your
Oh,
towel. Give me the
I
money,
think our
son.
idea is better, just slipping it in there.
Hey, she won't even notice. I mean, wait,
Oh my
what?
gosh, it's not that kind of show.
Oh, you're right. I'm leaving now.
And the last thing I was going to talk about, you
Too
know what
many
the
sips
last
in.
thing, because we're going to end now, we're going a little long, but I watched a little bit of a preview. What if Marvel?
Oh, I love what if comic books.
Do you know there's
I
I
have
don't
not.
know if it's a movie
I
or
knew there
show.
was a
It's a
show
show.
coming. It's going to be an episodic show with
The
cartoon.
animation looks like unreal. It looks great.
I've not ever since it was announced was the last I heard of it. I didn't know that anything was going
The
forward with it.
animation is the
Because
actors from the Avengers. Like
oh, really?
Cumberbatch is the yeah they drew Cumberbatch.
Really?
Yeah, watch. Well, I don't want to tell you to watch a preview because
I watch
you
previews
watch
all the time.
previews. I'm
You're
the
the
one.
non-preview.
I sort of clicked because I was so curious because I love the what if comics. What if what if Gwen Stacy never died?
What if Spider-Man was the first Captain America? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
they
I just made that one up, but yeah. Just trying to reach
yeah.
for
So
something.
if you watch the preview, just it's look the animation looks amazing. It's computer animation, but like hand drawn computer animation. So it looks pencily, but they look
Gotcha.
great. It kind of looks like Into the
That's the
Spider
best.
Verse. They use the same
Awesome. That's the
technology.
best. Oh man, that's probably why it took him so long to get him out there. So how long before that's ready? Did they
I
give you a
ran
date?
away as soon as it was looking too good. I
Uh,
saw Cumberbatch as Doctor
I've
Strange.
seen
Yeah,
too
I've seen
much.
too much. I threw
Cover
the
your eyes and run
laptop.
away.
I'm like, no.
Speaking of laptop, don't spend money on the Mac Pro, the MacBook
No,
Pro.
no, all the M1s. Well, we're jumping to a new
The M1
topic. We got to get out of here, bro. You
Air
don't edit this
AirBook
thing. You
is
don't
is
do
the
anything. You
I
just
don't.
sit there, you
You don't have to edit.
talk,
Just put this
and
right up.
now I
Put it right up.
got to sit here for hours. No, we're not
Put it up.
editing anything.
Put it up.
I'm putting it up.
It's a wrap. Put it up, son. Matter of fact, hit live right now.
Coming all an hour later, guys. We just talked.
Yeah. All right, we got.
We were live. Actually,
We
we
were.
now know from this episode that we can go live.
Do you think we can go live and have like two people like chatting with us?
Hey, you know,
That'd be can we actually go? Well, you would have to share the questions if there were any
no,
questions and stuff
if
like
we
that.
go live, we could totally go live. Let's try live next time. This was a great conversation, and then we can while one of us is talking, the other person can read the comments and get questions.
Oh, like they do in the real world.
Why don't we do it? We could do it on my channel too. Get a bigger audience.
Let's do it on your channel, the Moe and O photo
Advice.
show on
Yeah, yeah.
advice on how not to wear orange and red with a orange light.
The only thing that scares me is your on the OBS, you're slightly delayed. I guess by the time it gets cooked from Skype, I'm looking at your lips here on Skype and they're delicious.
Mira, nene, go ahead.
And then over here, you're delayed. Like you just said, go ahead. And then over here, it's go ahead. So sometimes the
Mm,
conversation, I talk over you, but I'm not really talking over you. It's that,
you're just listening to the
I'm
wrong
listening.
way. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going to have to look at
listening to the
OBS
wrong way.
guy next time.
You know what? You know what? Put it up live. Mess with all the
All right, that's
OCDers,
cool.
man. Oh my goodness, they're gonna
All
hate
right,
you.
guys.
Hey guys, thanks for spending time with us as we just talk back and forth about life and beer and
Tell us
the
your
Spider
favorite
Verse.
beer. Like I want to know. I mean, there's beers are regional, but if you have, tell us your
Right.
region and what beer, and we'll try to find them because now you know that Mo likes ales and that they're gross sour
Sour.
ales, and I like delicious, fruity, girly IPAs.
I like an IPA too. Ablagash. What is that?
Abercrombie and
Ablagash.
Finch.
No, that's my clothing line by
All
Moe.
right, man. Let's go. Love you, man. All
Awesome.
right.
Be
Cheers.
good. High
Peace.
five over there.
That never works. Just stop it.
All right. Well then, help you then.
Bye. All right. Stop recording.